Hey guys, it's your girl Shelbeatzzz coming at you today with another beat. Today we are going to be using that Makeup Shayla Colourpop Perception palette. Now, we already have our brows prepped because we're mainly focusing on this eye tutorial. The first shade we're going in with is that Culture shade. We are using this as a transition, and as you can see, I am using a fluffy blending brush. This is one of my eBay brushes that I got by Jessup, and we're just taking that from the outer corner all the way into the inner corner. I kind of start low and then go high up into that brow. Then I go into the shade Thick with a taper blending brush, and I'm going right up under that transition shade to deepen up the crease. And I'm just gonna focus it, like really concentrate that color on the outer crease, but then I blend it into that inner crease. Like blowing that crease shade out, so I'm taking Thick and I'm blowing it out kind of like a wing. Now I want to build onto my color, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Revenge, and I am using a crease brush by Lamora. For the lid, we're going to go in with the shade Sassy. Now, this is a really pretty iridescent color. I am going to spray my brush first, though, with some Fix Plus, just to get that foiled look. And as you'll notice, with Colourpop shadows, it's so much easier to apply them with your finger. You get much more pigment. So a brush is fine as long as it's a synthetic brush, but I prefer to use my finger. I just get way more color. This shadow is giving me going out vibes. It's giving me nighttime girl. It's also a look that you can wear to work. Like, it's not too much. It's a sheer shadow. But I don't know. I can't explain it. It's sheer, but it's popping. And I'm just going back in with that crease brush to blend out any harsh lines. Now I'm going in with the shade on the outer crease. Now this shade looks like, in the pan, it's got like glitter flakes. It's a burgundy shade, but when you apply it, it goes on matte, which I thought was really, really cool. And you see me going in a C-like shape to really get that smoked look. Not too much of a harsh smoke, but I just want it to flow. Like, I'm trying to use colors that are within that iridescent shade. So if you look closely, or if you have this palette, you'll see little burgundy flakes, you'll see orange flakes, you'll see a little bit of green. So I'm just pulling colors from that lid shade. And like I said, you gotta blend when you have these dark shades, because you don't want it to come off as harsh. So I'm going back in with my taper blending brush with a little bit of Revenge and Thick mixed together on the brush, and I'm just blowing out that shadow. Adding a little bit more shade to the outer crease, and I'm continuing to blow that out like a wing liner. for the fun part. Y'all know I love me some wing liner. So here I'm using my NYC liquid liner in the shade Noir or Black. And I am going for a thick, bold line. I'm talking about thicker than what I usually have. Of the wing liner because my hand is in the way. But as I told you guys before, I am left-handed, so it is so hard for me not to have my hand in the way. Like, I'm gonna come up with a different method where you guys can see it step by step, because I want you guys to learn and grow with me. When I'm doing my wing liner, like, I'll have it perfect on one eye, and then I constantly have to keep switching between both eyes because I got to add a little bit more to this side. I got to take a little bit away from this eye. So it's just one of those things where you have to take your time, and practice definitely makes perfect, because before you know it, we'll all be pros out here when it comes to this wing liner. Better Than Sex mascara to prep my natural lashes before I apply my false lashes. Here's where I decided to deepen that crease even more with the color Shade, because with that wing liner, girl, I'm like, oh, I want this to be a deep crease, okay? I wanted that crease to color to blend right into my liner. I wanted it to look seamless, as almost like they were meant to be. Now it's time to prep the face. So for primer, I'm going to use my Angel Veil primer by NYX Cosmetics, and I'm just putting this on. It's kind of like a little bit of a moisturizer, but I also use this to fill in those pores before applying that foundation. For foundation, I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me in the color 355 Coconut. And the brush that I'm using is a Real Techniques brush. It's the BBCC brush. And we're just buffing that product right into the skin. We want a nice airbrushed look. We want that skin to look like we woke up like this. That my wing liner is not as thick as I wanted, and it's not perfect. So I'm going back in to correct the lines to make my eyes look as close as possible. Like, I know they'll probably be twins, but listen, I want them to be identical twins. Like, I want them to look very, very similar. foundation because my eyes and my liner are exactly how I want them. For concealer, I'm using my Colourpop No Filter Concealer in the number 46. It's dark 46. You want to highlight under those eyes. You want to go down the bridge of that nose. You also want to get that forehead, all of the places where you are naturally lighter. I'm using a Real Techniques Beauty Blender to blend out that concealer. You want to make sure that your beauty blender is damp so that you have a smooth finish. You want to highlight in areas where the sun naturally hits, where it naturally looks lighter. So you're making sure you're getting under the eyes, the bridge of the nose, and that forehead, and sometimes your chin. It's rare that you see me use beauty sponges to do my makeup. They're nice or whatnot, but the thing that I find is that sometimes it picks up too much product. Like, it takes away too much, and so I find that I have to continue to go back and add, as to where if I use a brush, I'm not losing any product. I'm just blending it in. To contour, I'm using my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Dark Cocoa. And you want to get under that cheekbone. You want to go around the forehead or your hairline, and then you want to go down the sides of your nose to give that nose a slimmer look. Now, I thought I was going to go in with my e.l.f. Cosmetics brush that I usually use, but with this cream contour, it's a little too wet for this brush. I don't like how it's blending out. So here you'll see me add a little more concealer because that cream contour, it was just moving too much. So I'm taking my beauty blender to blend it out as much as I can, and then I'm going to add some more of that Colourpop No Filter Concealer. Now the look is starting to come back together, and I feel a lot better about my highlight and contour, because at first I wasn't feeling it, but you know, you keep it moving. Now this beauty blender is working really good with this product. I do like the way it is blending out, so I'm like, it's not so bad after all. Now, instead of using the beauty blender on my nose to blend that contour out, I just used my e.l.f. Cosmetics contour brush. I wanted my nose to be very precise, and I did not want that product moving all over the place. I wasn't sure if it was going to be moving and grooving with the beauty blender. Now, to set my highlighted areas, I am using the Nye Banna Powder. Now, let me tell y'all, I have not used this stuff in so long. I was almost nervous, but I forgot how good of a product this stuff is. And I'm using my 300 brush by Real Techniques. But anyway, I was watching a tutorial by Starr, and he was talking about how this Nye stuff, you know, gives you that extra highlighted look. And I'm like, you know what? Let me dust this stuff off and see, you know, what the hype is about. And I've fallen in love with it all over again. Now, I will say this. I have dry skin, and too much of this powder dries me completely out. But other than that, I was loving the look. To dust off that setting powder, I am going to tap into that Maybelline Fit Me foundation powder. I use the shade 355, and I'm just using a regular powder brush to dust it off. Now, to set my contour, I am using that Black Radiance medium to dark palette. Now you could get this at your local drugstore, and this stuff is thebomb.com. It literally brought color back into my life instantly. I love it, I love it, I love it. The brush that I'm using to set my contour with is a Jessup blush brush. This is one of the brushes that I got off eBay. It came in a set. And then I like to go over everything with a large powder brush. I just want to set all of the products into the skin. And then, you know, I'm going to set that nose with my e.l.f. contour brush just for that precise, you know, look. Y'all know how I like my nose. Then I am setting my face with the LA Girl Pro Matte Setting Spray. For highlight, I'm using the Makeup Shayla highlighter in the color Pose, and I am using a stippling brush to apply that highlight. Blend that highlighter in with a powder brush. You want it to be nice and seamless. To add my highlight to my nose, I am using a clean, tapered blending brush. It's a regular eyeshadow brush, but I'm using it for my nose today because I want that glisten right down the middle of my nose. Take a fluffy powder brush to get that excess product off. I don't want too much shine, okay? And then here I am using a Beauty Supply Place blush set, and I'm just going in with that orangey pink shade on my cheeks just to add a little bit of color to tie in the look. That I'm using today are by Ardell. They are the Faux Mink lashes. I believe the number is 315, but I will leave that in the description bar below so you guys can have the actual name. I'm going to take Thick and Revenge on a crease brush and go under the lash line. Eyeshadow brush, and I'm taking Sassy right on top of the colors Thick and Revenge, and I'm taking that from the outer crease all the way to the inner crease. Here I'm popping the shade TF in the inner tear duct. It's that gold shade, and it looks so cute. It makes the eyes just pop. Now my lash glue that I used was the Ardell adhesive lash glue. Okay, it looks white, but it's gonna dry down. Don't worry, it's gonna get clear. And then for my bottom lashes, you know I had to go back in with my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And if you hold your the spoolie like I'm holding it, it gives that look like you have falsies on, like fake bottom lashes. So cute. I'm using the Colourpop Lip Pencil in the color BFF3. For the lipstick, I am using the Makeup Shayla Luxe lipstick in the color Ooh. On top of the lips, you know I have to add a gloss, and this is also from Shayla's collection. It's the Neat Freak Ultra Glossy Lip. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for yet another great video. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If there is something that you guys want to see, have questions, please don't hesitate to hit me in the comment section. Again, thank you for watching.